everybody, I'm Xiphos Fraznoir, and welcome back to Gone Home. I forgot to check this closet first. Okay, let's read this note. Welcome, new student. We hope that you are as excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day of classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. One study folder with pockets for each of your 6 class periods, one line notebook per period or one large notebook with 6 divided sections, at least 6 pens, blue or black ink, and 6 pencils, one box of colored pencils, a standard combination lock for your assigned locker, a nutritious lunch or $2.50 for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria, a positive attitude. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready for the first bell to ring at 8 o'clock a.m. See you soon, and again, welcome. I can't read cursive. Okay, Bev Valance, principal. What should I say?
You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, pushing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House girl. Great.
By the way, I got a haircut today. Or yesterday, I don't remember, but still. Grab button. It says heaven. Let's read. Heaven to... Who gives a crap? Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Corin Tucker, heavens to Betsy. Oh, it said heavens to Betsy. Okay, I got it. I need to finish this game before in 7 or 6 days for the game to come out, like 7 days die for PS4, because I want to get this game done so I can uninstall it when I'm finished.
Hi, this is Corin Tucker from Heavens to Betsy. And Heavens to Betsy was a band that formed in 1991, actually. And I actually got the idea for joining a band when I moved to Olympia, Washington, and became a fan of the music scene there. And it seemed like everyone was in a band. So I decided I was going to start a band too. But I didn't actually start the band until I went home after the first year of college. I went back to Eugene, Oregon, and my high school friend Tracy Sawyer and I started playing music together, and that was the beginning of Heavens to Betsy. So I had told, with my big mouth, I had told all my friends that I was going to start a band. And the summer of, I think it was 1991, my friend Michelle Noel booked the International Pop Underground in Olympia, Washington. And she helped organize a night at the convention called Girl Night, and it was all women musicians. So she called me and said, "Hey, let's get you on stage with that. You want to play the show that I'm organizing." This totally new band that had never performed before. I mean, we had never performed ever any kind of music. Got invited to play this big show at the Capitol Theater in Olympia in front of all of our musical heroes, right? Everyone from K Records, all of Fugazi was there, all of Bikini Kill was there. This music that I was a huge fan of. Suddenly, that was our very first show, the very first Heavens to Betsy show, and we were terrified, but we did it, and people loved it, and it was, it changed my life forever that night.
Who is behind me? Do I hear laughing? It's freaking creepy. Alright, let's see this bottle. Alright. Distilled in Ireland. Hanrahan number 9 Irish whiskey. Ooh, I like some whiskey, dude. Too bad it doesn't break. Highlighter. County. Let's read this. Have I already read this? Let me see. Yeah, that one's been already read. I need to look. No, let me leave this open so I know I already read that.
The doors were actually one of the hardest things in the game to get working correctly, and I know that there's still some bugs existing with the doors, actually.
Yeah,
it's a
like
surprisingly hard problem, which is why most video games just have doors that kind of slide away into nothingness or open in strange ways or don't, let you interact fully with doors. But of course, it's in a house like in Gone Home, a realistic house. It's important that everything be as natural as possible. The one concession we made to video gaminess is that the doors all swing both ways, which never happens in a real house. But it's necessary to prevent the player trapping themselves in some strange state.
Alright, that was it. Where is the light? Lights. True stories. I was a teenage drag queen, fresh, May 1995. Okay, May 95. Okay, readers tell us about their worst moments. 9210. Does anybody still care? The male gaze, how to subvert it. Sarah Holst. Not gathering moss. I don't think that was interesting. Alright, let's listen to this. Carla Fresh Magazine.
Here we have Fresh Magazine, which is a synthesis and pastiche of Sassy Magazine, which if you haven't looked at it or if it wasn't, something that you cared about in the early 90s, it was very feminist and, strongly individualist and actually gave good advice. It was actually really good. Anyway, so yeah, this is the type treatment. The super grungy type treatment is totally indicative. That's how it used to be. Oh yeah, and amusingly, of course, our cover model is Rachel Steve's wife. I had to make her put on this awful light pink lipstick and do the 90s-ist stuff imaginable. And she did it.
Was your idea to put a braid in the front of her bang?
Yes.
Wait, what? I see it.
Oh, thanks.
So, okay, pink lipstick and a braid in front of her bangs. Okay, I see it. Grab a book. I need light. Stranger Under My Roof. The first best-selling advice books for parents or of teens. Let me put this in the light. Dr. Lisa Medina. You know what? I don't think we need a book like this anymore because this is the year 2016. No one's like that anymore. A Stranger Under My Roof, Understanding Teens. The teen years are fraught with change of all types, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. But these changes don't just affect your teen. Your teens turbulent years are a challenge for parents as well. Maybe the biggest challenge you've yet faced since having children. This book holds insights into your teen's behavior from the very beginning as he or she first enters adolescence, up through the end of the teen years as he or she enters young adulthood. The practical strategies here are based upon well-tested principles of pediatric psychology, presented by Dr. Lisa Medina herself, a mother of 2 teenagers prepared to gain new tools for establishing a productive, healthy, and loving dialogue with the stranger under your roof. I never had such a good conversation with my daughter, a leaner shepherd, the Atlantic. These simple tools can make all the difference to a relationship with your child. Sheen Killer, Northwest Review of Books. And there's Dr. Lisa Medina. She looks freaking old. But in a good way. Okay, November 1st, 1994. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they've becoming more trouble than they are worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non-squirters, sequiturs, I don't know if that's said, from the, do they really, okay, usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of home theater aficionado want to hear about the quality of and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half your weight to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time, and he's the boss. So I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. Brent Kirkwood, reviews editor, home theater, Aficionado Magazine. Oh, wait, okay. CO451, I need that code. Okay, I gotta remember this. Someone write down in the chat, 0451.
Inside of this file folder, you find the first combination code in the game. This code goes to Dad's lock filing cabinet, and it's 0451, which is a bit of a tradition / in-joke amongst. It's not really an in-joke. It's just an internal reference amongst this lineage of games that hark back to immersive sims that are kind of first-person exploration games that started with Ultima Underworld and System Shock, and 451 was the first key code in System Shock, and then it was also the first key code in System Shock 2 and Deus Ex and Bioshock and most recently Dishonored. And yeah, I've personally worked on a couple of games that had 0451 as the first code in them, and we were really adherent to the tenets of the interactive model and kind of the principles of design behind those games when we were designing how Gone Home works, and so to maintain that tradition, we also made it the first code in our game.
And you made it the tattoo on your arm.
I also got a tattoo of 0451 because it is sort of a symbol of this certain philosophy of game design that's important to me. And yeah, this writing, Breaking Canon, is in Emily's handwriting. Emily's handwriting is technically only in the font that exists outside the game. She doesn't actually do the handwriting of any of the characters, but yeah, I had her write 0451 in her very distinctive handwriting, and then I got a tattoo of it and figured I would use that source image as the image that you find on the inside of this folder.
Oh. You know, let's go look at that folder again. We'll be back right there. I gotta look at that folder. Yeah, I want to see what's so curious about that handwriting. Interesting. So they use that for every first code of every single video game. It's 0451. Steven, Carla, Kabilik, Rise. Let's listen to this.
Is The Apartment, which was directed by Billy Wilder, and it starred Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon, and it's from 1960. And it's basically what Mad Men is, except actually from that time. It's super good, and there's this weird, like, kind of humorous vocal tick that some of the executives in the movie have, where they will refer to something like, they'll say, like, we're doing quite well dividends wise or something, and Shirley MacLaine's character is named, her last name is Kubelik, and one of the executives at different times says something like, so how are you getting along Kubelik wise? So anyway, super deeply buried Easter egg reference in joke. We made the law firm Kubelik and Wise that prepared Oscar's bill, just as a wink and nod, a little hardcore Fenton.
Quite Steve.
But yeah, The Apartment, you should watch it.
It's it's totally worth your time. It's a really good movie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Alright, Kubelik and Rise, attorneys at law, 21 Front Street, Boone County, Orlando. Dear Mr. Masson, please find enclosed your original document and a typed copy for your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our film with the important matter. Sincerely, Jeffrey Wise, Kubelik and Wise, attorneys at law. There's more. Will and Testament. 1. Oscar Masson, possessing full competence of mind and memory, and after full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. 1. I declare that I am lifelong resident of Boone County, that I am unmarried and have no children. 2. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name, to any creditors living or dead. 3. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as any and all personal property and money accounts to my nephew Terrence L. Greenbrier Jr. of Ely County. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbrier Jr. should predecease me, then, and in such event, the bequest to him shall fall in the same and bequeathed to his children as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribe my name to this will this 13th day of August, 1973, signed Oscar Masson. There's another one. Hold on. Oh no! This is freaking cursive. No. I'm trying to keep it on the same page.
I can't read that. It's up next.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't read it.
I can't read that either. I don't know who the hell wrote that.
I was Oscar Masson with the Kubelik and Wise.
Okay, click that. Or click back. That right there is what is written in cursive.
You're kidding.
It's the same thing.
So, okay, I get it. It's the same shit.
Yeah, so you don't have to read the cursive.
Okay. That's good. I didn't have to read that cursive. Alright, I have to head to the next room then. Let's see, where do I go? Let me open this door right here so I know I already went in there. What's that sound? Oh, it's the news.
It's emergency broadcast.
Severe weather storm, western region. Turn off TV. Turn on TV. Pizza box, AMT. Read letter. David Verning, Hi-Fi, Africanado Magazine, 88 Downing Street, Steve 4, New York, New York. 10014, 8/15/94. Hi Terry. Enclosed, please find a Pioneer CLDD 703 unit with remote and cables. We need a half-page review for the October issue, so that gives you about 2 weeks to get us the copy for edit. Standard stuff like you gave us on the CLDD 502. It's a combi player, so check it. CD playback with a few discs as well as Laserdisc, and they want us to definitely hit the signal to noise ratio and Toslink stuff for high-end buyers. Looking forward to your take on it. Enjoy the unit. And I'm not reading cursive. Okay, from David Werning. What is in this box? There's nothing else in this box. It's on a coaster. Nothing in this drawer. How do I turn on the light? Let me start with the first one.
When you're putting like lamps and stuff around a house, one thing that you have to deal with is plugging them in. And something that always annoys me about level design in games is when there's some lamp or piece of electronics that would have to be plugged in because it doesn't run on batteries, but it doesn't have a cable because video games. And so, since a big part of the point of Gone Home is the specificity of the house.
That is right, Ginger Ale.
Because of that, Steve himself.
I spent some late nights with my meager Maya skills modeling custom cables for each of the things that's plugged in so that the cables actually run from the TV or the lamp or whatever to an outlet in the wall.
It is a
All right, turn on a lamp.
I think that I'm proud of you for getting that in there, Steve. That's important. Yeah.
Alright, next one, this one. It says, Introductions, Sarah Grayson.
My name is Sarah Grayson, and I do the voice of Sam Greenbrier in Gone Home. Currently based out of Portland, Oregon, so right around where the Fulbright Company is from, which is part of, I guess, how this all came to be. I started doing voiceover work probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a bit of an on and off journey, because I also have had regular 9-to-5 jobs that whole time. So I always get excited when I see video game auditions come across, because it's always been something that I wanted to do. And really excites me as I'm a video game fan myself. So there was an audition that came across that at the time was entitled Dear Diary. And it had this wonderful description about being this sort of 16, 17-year-old girl. Not too much detail about her, just that she was new to her school, new to this place she was living, and her sister had moved away. So she was sort of writing out her thoughts as if she was talking to her sister. So most of the time, I'll stand up at the mic when doing auditions. But for this one, I thought, well, no one's actually going to read their diary standing up. Like this is kind of you write your diary while lying down in your bed or like sitting cross-legged on the floor or whatever. So I ended up having to hold the mic down, sat on my couch, legs crossed, got nice and cozied up in like my pajamas, and started reading it.
All right. Nothing important here. Wait, nope. TV listings. Well, this is important. Okay, circled right there is the channel 25, which is the X-Files. Okay, so 8 p.m. is 27 Family Matters, 12 Unsolved Mysteries, 25 Diagnosed as Murder, 56 MANTIS Mantis, NIK Lucy Show, TBS Strange Luck, A30 is 2 Boy Meets World, 25 Bonnie Hurt Show, 33 Dave's World, A&E Theater of Blood, TNT Chinatown, 27 Step by Step, which is at 9 p.m., which is 12 is Picket, Finches, 56 is Padaline Friday, NIK is Labyrinth. That's a good movie. I love Labyrinth. That's a really amazing movie. Okay, show is Sleepaway Camp, 9:30, which is 2-7 Hanging with Mr. Cooper. This was all on Friday, February 17th, 1995. 10 p.m., 2-7 2020. 12 is American Gothic, 25 is Red Dwarf, 56 is Homicide Life on the Street, Nick is Mork and Mendy, TBS is America's Funniest Home Videos, 10:30 Walker Texas Ranger, 25 Chicago Hope, 33 Click Gournier, A&E Wobocop, that's a good movie. TNT Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That is old. 27 Space Above and Beyond. 12 Steelyard Blues. 25 Newscast. 56 Matlock. Nick Mr. Wizard's World. TBS and Full House, which is at 11:30. I'm done reading that. Oh, a cassette. Oh, insert tape. That's good. November 21, 1963, John Russell knows that the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Okay, that's probably copyrighted, so I'm going to stop the cassette tape. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not. Okay, hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Not just another James Bond. T-Well Mummy, a high-class political thriller. Nicholas Wolf will move. Mercury Books.
Stand up for a second, make the bed.
Oh, I got a map. Oh, the blankets are nice and warm. Alright, I'm gonna read this note. Okay, February 3rd, 1978, Terry. Hey man, how have you been? I know you're a published author and everything now, but my editor at Hi-Fi, Africanato, has too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. Naturally, I thought of you. You were saying in your last letter how much of a pain it's been trying to find a publisher for your latest work of literature and writing. Stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch, listen to some records, and write up how it sounds, and then get paid. I've included some issues of the mag to use as examples. If you're interested, send some samples to my editor and tell him your old college chum Mike sent you. Here's the address. David Warning, reviews editor, Hi-Fi, Africanato Magazine, 88 Downing Street, Suits Wait for. Do it, Mike. Alright. Let me look around and see if there's anything good. This book was called Townsend Greenbrier and the Accidental Savior. Well, wait, what? What's up with that face? Let me get a light. Okay, what's up with that face? I'm gonna ignore that. That says the Andromeda strain. Carla and CVHS tapes.
So these are VHS tapes, or most of them in the house, and these in the TV room are from they only belong to Dad and Sam, because Mom has some VHS tapes, but they're up in the bedroom. And you can tell Dad's because he writes in a big, heavy, all caps style handwriting, and Sam does not. So, contrary to popular opinion, the X-Files tapes are not Dad's; they're in fact Sam's.
But stuff like JFK
Yes.
has an obvious dad interest, and some of the other stuff that we put in there was very much like, what is a dad?
Yeah.
You know, what is a when we were growing up, for instance, like what is a movie that our dad or a neighbor's dad would have? So stuff like the Andromeda Strain or Moonraker, it's just sort of like, yeah, dads
Dad's not that shit.
Yeah, dads that were born in the 50s were super into that kind of stuff. And then some of it was, you know, stuff that we liked
Hey,
or
what's up?
remembered from when we were growing up. Like, you will know that Carla was involved in making this game because Beetlejuice and RoboCop are on a VHS tape. That's most of what you need to know about Carla.
That's true.
Right there.
Oh, no. Okay, so Sam, thought this might help. This says Dad on there. It says something about making friends, feeling lonely and all that. It's kind of a cool book. Alright, I'll put that back.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around
It
them?
is a nice game.
You
It's
have
really
to get
good.
to know them. Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk. But sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform. She's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
What conditions are expected at this railroad station?
Oh, what's this? Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I'll come back to that at some point. Anything in here? Nope, it's empty, so we'll be right back for that. Alright, so I need to head to that way. Ooh, coupons. Music womb.
Most of the bookshelves in the house are filled with undifferentiated books. I mean, they're not undifferentiated, but they're low detail because, God, it would be an entire dev cycle's worth of work to actually do plausible spines on every single book. That would kill us. And then to repeat a whole bunch of books would also be sort of terrible and not be very plausible. So we had chiefly unlabeled books or books in which the labels have been rubbed off due to age, etc. And we had a few individual books that were more precisely and specifically named.
The way that we did the books in the game is we made like 3 or 4 of these clumps of books that have, the generic spines on them. They're just sort of filler books. They're kind of like what would be in the bookshelves of like a lawyer's office in a cheap lawyer's TV commercial or
right,
something.
where they buy them by the foot and whatever.
Yeah, and then we took 1 or 2 clumps and retextured them to all have specific readable spines on them, and then I just took those clumps and broke them up and scattered the individual books around in different bookshelves in the house, so that hopefully, I think every bookshelf has at least one unique book in it. That might not be true of everything in the library, since there's so many bookshelves there, but I guess I should say every or almost every bookcase had at least one unique book in it that never repeated, to kind of split the difference of, okay, they're not all generic, but also we can't afford to make them all unique, and we didn't want to have any repeat in an obvious way. So that was our strategy for trying to not do any of the things that we wanted to not do.
Alright guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe. So stay tuned for the next episode. Bye bye, let's go!